Greg with Lionquestfitness, and today we're going to be looking at SDS Inglis L9A1 high power clone. Now, as you can see, no magazine. We'll clear it. Nothing in the chamber. And this is a very sleek and very beautiful handgun. And we're going to put it through its paces today, and then we're going to talk about it. Now, the course of fire I'm going to put it through is a course of fire I designed that could possibly be a type of law enforcement qualification, because it teaches you how to maneuver with the gun at 3 different stages. Now, obviously, you cannot do this on a square range, or it has to be a one-on-one type of training or qualification. Starts at 25 yards with walking to the line, draw, shoot. The second part of the qualification is walking to the 15-yard line, draw, kneel, shoot, each time 4 rounds. Then there's 2 other qualifications where you're walking across the field at 7 yards, you turn, you draw, you shoot twice, and then come from the other direction and do the same. So let's see how that all unfolds. So how did the gun do? Well, not exactly pinpoint accuracy on my part, but the whole idea of the drill is to move and get into position, shoot, and to do so very smoothly. And for me personally, one of the things that I worked on this round was trying to get that first shot off as quickly as possible, trying to coordinate the body with my eyes and the sight of the gun. My first 2, earlier in the week, I did it a couple of other times, and I may have done a little bit better, but I may have also been a little bit slower. So let's talk about the gun. Now, these are imported by SDS. They do have the copyright on the Inglis name. This gun is a facsimile of the high powers that the Canadian and British Army carried in the 1980s, with a few updates or differences. One being there is no magazine disconnect safety, In other words, when you drop that magazine, if there is a round in the chamber, you can't fire that round. Also, the sights are a little bit different. As you can see, it's 3 square dots. But even for my poor eyesight, I find that easy to get on target. So, Greg, any hiccups with the gun so far? Well, a couple of small things. Initially, this magazine release is very stiff, but once you've worked it some, magazine comes right out. And I am, being a lefty, I'm used to using my index finger. Now that presents another problem because this ambi safety is a little bit awkward for me, mainly because I'm so used to using my index finger to release the safety before I draw on any pistols I own that have a safety, such as, some of the 1911s I've owned. And then using my thumb to initialize the safety again. So anyway, it's just going to take a little bit of getting used to and working with it to see if I ever will get in the habit of using that left-handed safety or that ambi safety. All right, this gun is single action only, meant to be cocked and locked. When you want to fire, you drop the safety to press the trigger. Now, what do you do to unload the gun? You're going to hit that magazine release, catch that magazine. You're going to drop that safety. You want to point the gun in a safe direction. And I have to do this a little bit cockeyed because of being left-handed. What you're going to do is you're going to pull the slide back and lock the slide. Now a round will tumble out. Make sure you have something to catch that round. Then you can check and make sure that there is nothing in the chamber. And what you want to do is you want to release that slide. You're going to pull your hammer back, press the trigger, and let that hammer go forward slowly. Now the gun's ready to be stored. So Greg, what do you think about the gun overall? Well, it's like this. I used to own a Hungarian FEG, which was kind of a high-power clone. It looked like a high-power, but they had to change the gun to modify it, and they went to more of a Smith & Wesson semi-auto design of that time period. It was a good shooter, but when you took the gun apart, it was very roughly machined. And this gun's not roughly machined. It's very well machined. I'm very impressed with this gun so far. Could it be used for concealed carry? Possibly. It would be easy to carry in a proper holster. As far as ammunition goes, one thing I found with some of the old European milsurps that I own and have owned, like this Star BM9, it's made to shoot a 124 grain ball, but it handles 115 grain hollow points fairly well. So that's a possibility. But I imagine this gun probably would handle about anything you'd put in it. So I know it's become popular to hate on these Turkish guns, but I like it. I would recommend it. And this is Greg with Lionquest Fitness.